is up, party people? How are you doing? I hope you're having a fantastic day today. My name is Ben, as you probably know, here with the main man, Chrissy J.
Yo, how's it going, guys?
So, good, absolutely. Thank you so much for jumping in, Chris. So, today we are going to talk to you lovely people about chasing passion versus money. Now, as an entrepreneur of 2+ years, I struggle with this. Right? I struggle with making sure to maintain that passion, making sure to not put too much emphasis on the money. And I think a lot of people also struggle with this too. So let's talk about it. Chris, when people say that they're just working just to make money and just chasing that money, what actually is that? What does that mean to you?
I think that's more so, I think deep down that comes down to like fear and uncertainties when it comes to bills and certain factors of money kind of things. When it comes to the passion, to me personally, when you know you've found your passion, it really comes down to something that puts an instant smile on your face. You can have a vision for that instant passion for, and throughout the building of my company, kind of Zone Life Success and all of my Amazon businesses, there's two things that really relate strongly to each other there. I have a big passion for Amazon. Like, I love selling on Amazon, and then that passion grew into helping others sell on Amazon, which forms Zone Life Success. And when you found it, because it almost burns like a burning desire through you, and you want to get up early and you want to stay up late hitting your passion. But when it comes to the actual money factor, you want to go so hard after that passion that the money will flow into your life, as opposed to, okay, I've got to earn $100 a day, so I've got to pay off for my Mac, I've got to pay off my drone, and so on. When it comes there, it becomes very pressure and overwhelming. So the more you can chase towards that fun factor of entrepreneurship or anything else you're doing in terms of tasks, projects, and that's where all of the greatness will come.
Absolutely, absolutely. So, again, just to kind of summarize, like when you're just chasing the money, right, there's no fire there. There's nothing that every single day is going to get you up and out of bed and on that grind, on that hustle, day in and day out. Because, when you're trying to build businesses and you're going into entrepreneurship, at least in the very beginning, right, in like the first couple of years, it's going to be hard as hell.
Yeah.
It's going to be hard as hell because there is no set playbook. There's not like a one-way thing that you can just do and then it works like that, right? Everybody's got to grind it out. You got to find what works for you. You got to figure out where you want to apply yourself, how you want to apply yourself, in what capacity you want to put yourself in. Like, do you want to be more the leader? Do you want to be more the investor? Do you want to be more the person that builds the team? Do you want to be the champion on the forefront leading the charge? Do you want to be the general behind the scenes coming up with the strategy? And have there's so many things you got to think of. There's the administrative tasks. There's figuring out something to sell. There's keeping your customers happy. There's keeping your employees happy. Or you may not want employees. You may just want to outsource and have it all automated. There are so many things to think about and so many ways to go that if you are just chasing money, day after day, it is going to wear you down. And just going for the money is not going to be enough to get you from where you are to that success level that you want to be.
And if you're looking to make a change in your life, and honestly, you wake up every single morning with like a frown on your face, you look yourself in the mirror and like you're just there, you look yourself in the mirror and you think, okay, I really do not want to go into work today, even if it's something to do with like entrepreneurship, a business you've been in for a year. If you're losing that passion, then you maybe give it another 8 to 12 weeks before you make that indefinite decision to kind of move past it or to take someone else on that will really put a smile on your face. And notice that I haven't talked about money here. This is not how much money you've got in the bank, in your pocket, in your investments. This is purely about passion, because in my experience, the further you can chase that passion, the more money you will collect for yourself. So, if it's been a duration of time where you are unhappy, and this can come down to not just business related, this can come down to a relationship, this can come down to any forms of life that you're not happy with. You've really got to, because as humans, we like to really step away from the realizations of life, uncertainties. We like to escape and watch Netflix. We like to go and drink alcohol, do drugs. All of those things are a factor of what we're feeling inside. And if we're not happy waking up in the morning and we're not happy going to sleep at nights, then there's something that needs a change. So whether it be business, whether it be your peer group, whether it be your relationship,
mindset.
Yeah, just think about what makes you happy. What's that passion? You know, you could have £100,000 in your pocket, or you could have £10 in your pocket. Whether that, you know, it's on the big end of the spectrum or the lower end. If your face, if you haven't got a smile on that face, that pretty face of yours, then, you know, something's got to change regardless of the kind of money.
Absolutely, absolutely. So, you know, I guess the takeaway of what is it, right? What is the difference between chasing passion versus chasing money? Is that passion, you're doing it for the right reasons. You're doing it whether to help other people, whether to help your family, whether to solve a problem, whether to fight for a cause, right? And so when you're fighting for something that is bigger than money and that it truly resonates with you on the inside, when you're fighting for that, when you have that sort of driving factor behind you, you're going to be way more successful in the long run, right? And so then there's this question, right? It's kind of a catch-22. If you're struggling paycheck to paycheck right now, then it's like, okay, I need money now, but we're sitting here saying, no, follow your passion, don't chase the money will come, right? So that is a difficult situation to be in, right? It is a very difficult situation to be in. And the reason a lot of the time, I'm not saying every time, but the reason a lot of the time is because of that short-term mentality of I need to get money now. And if you consistently stay with that short-term mentality of I need money now, then you're not going to be able to think long-term and get yourself out of that problem long-term. Because that is a long-term problem. That is not a short-term problem. We always need money. We always need resources. We always need to be able to sustain ourselves. And so if we don't think of this long-term problem as something that needs a long-term solution, as in chasing a business or something, your hobby, your interests, whatever it may be that you're truly passionate about, in a long-term way, if you don't take that long-term approach, then you're going to stay in that cycle of the short-term needs for money, right? And so, you know, Chris, let's not just talk about it in hypothetical. Let's actually talk about it in relation to our own lives and our own experiences, just so you know it's not just theoretical, right? So
because we always talk about there's so many people giving tips and advice online. Like I like to relate to like personal trainers because I used to fall into this category. And looking back, and I'm fully transparent in what I say. It was stupid. I was a personal trainer for near 5 years, and most clients, I used to say, all the clients really, obviously to eat healthy, balanced lifestyle, all of that stuff. But behind the closed doors, old Chrissy J was obviously going against the grain, exactly what I told my clients, and I was eating bad foods. I wasn't doing my cardio. I wasn't doing a morning routine. And if you, the professional, you're telling other people to do something while you're not doing something yourself,
doesn't work.
It just doesn't work. So we were talking about that, and I always talk about blogging. Ben and I love doing that. The very first thing I think about when waking up is, okay, it's not how many notifications I got on Facebook. It's what blog can I write today on zonlifesuccess.com to give as much value to the people as I possibly can. And that, throughout that whole blog post, whether that's 1,000 words or 8,000 words, yes, I haven't written that much in a blog post, every word that I'm typing comes from the heart, and there's this enormous smile on my face for every word that I'm typing. And I can do that throughout the whole day, and that passion wakes me up in the morning early sometimes, and it not lately, and then it keeps me up later at night. That's a definite. And
might also be the 7 cups of coffee.
Yeah. I think I'm already 5 in. So yeah, it's that desire to wake up and do something. The last thing, and I can honestly, and this is in full honesty and openness, the last thing I think about from dusk till dawn is how much money am I going to make. Even though I make money, it's, when I see a notification come in from Amazon, when I see a course sale, that's the last thing I care about. It's notification, Chris, you've made this, all right, fine, we can get back to my blog post.
Yeah.
That doesn't matter to me. If I'm in a position where it comes to the end of the month and I'm $200 short, okay, this doesn't happen, but just saying, if I'm $200 short of paying some of my bills, that's when I'll start to focus more on the money. It's at that very end tipping point where I'm in a situation of pressure, where finances need covering, and that's where I'll go and chase some money for the very short term. But for the 99.9% of the duration, I've got a big smile on my face, and I know exactly what's happening.
But note what you just said just then. for the short term.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
So when you focus more on the long term, you don't put yourself in positions like that where you have to focus more on money, right? If you solve the problem long term, then it never gets to that point. And if it does, then you have the systems in place to be able to deal with it. So again, let's talk about this more in terms of our actual experiences.
Oh yeah,
right?
you go.
So,
you go. Right?
So for me, in the beginning of my entrepreneurial journey, right, I started out doing social media marketing. And I did social media management, some content creation. I did a little bit of paid advertising. And, you know, to tell you the truth, I was not as successful as I could have been because in the beginning, I didn't understand this concept of chasing passion versus chasing money, right? I was thinking, what can I do in order to provide businesses, my clients, with as much value as possible? And that was what I went off of, right? Because I was thinking, I'll help them save money, and I'll help them make money, and by helping them make money, I'll make money.
Agreed.
Easy as that, right? But I wasn't thinking deeper. I wasn't thinking to the point of, what can I truly do in order to harness my passion in order to make life better for other people? Yeah. What do I have to offer the world that will make people's lives better in a meaningful way? And if I would have approached it more from that angle, I probably would be much more successful than I am today. But it took me a while to learn it. It took me a while to get through my own limiting beliefs. And it took me a while to get through that mindset, the outdated mindset of chasing money, right? And so, you know, once I got through that, at least to some extent, and again, it's always a battle, right? It's always a battle. Maybe battle is the wrong word, but it's always something that a challenge that we as people should be cognizant about and thinking about throughout our lives, right? And so when I switched from more of the money side to the passion side, that is when I started writing my book. That is when I started writing my first book of CEO at 20, Little Book for Big Dreams, because I figured, look, I'm actually trying to chase my passion. I'm trying with every fiber in my being, and it is so fulfilling, and it is so wonderful, and the amount of happiness and meaning and impact that journey, that effort has made to my life, other people need to know that. Other people need to feel that. They deserve to feel that. They should feel that.
I can validate Ben's happiness because I've woke up with him, not in the same bed, unfortunately, but for the last 11 mornings, there's been nothing but big smiles. So, and that's all around, including Phoebe the dog down there. So she can validate it too.
So, you know, just starting on that book and trying to give people that sense of happiness and fulfillment, that is where my passion has lied, right? Mm-hmm. That is where my passion has been, in giving to others, in helping to empower other people and inspire other people to do the things that they want to do, right? Like Chris, 2 or 3 years ago, did I ever think I was going to be an author? Hell no. No. I had no idea. But by following my passion, by doing what I felt was right, and by not chasing the money, but by trying to chase the impact, the fulfillment, the meaning, the happiness, the people, by trying to deliver to the people what they needed and what I thought that they wanted and what I knew that I was passionate about and could offer, that is what has brought me the most success in my life. Now, it's gone from not only books, but to now where my biggest passion is Project A, right? And so Chris and I were talking earlier about the power of doing that, right? And we were just talking about, you know, different networking skills and different people that we've networked with. And because of that passion, because of chasing that passion, it has led to opportunities that just chasing the money would never have led to, right? Like chasing the passion, people can feel that on the other end, right? So when you go up to somebody and you say, hey, would you want to, you know, do this with me? Or would you want to be a part of this? And I'll give you an example, a real life example. When I go to people and I say, hey, can I interview you for Project A? Right? They say, what is it for? What is it about? Tell me more information. And I tell them straight up. I was like, the purpose of Project A is to create a safe place for entrepreneurs to come together, to bounce ideas off of each other, to problem solve, and to brainstorm together in a forum-like fashion. And they're like, I love that idea. Let's go. Let's do it. I want to be part of it.
Yeah.
Right? And so because I'm so passionate about it and I'm chasing the passion, other people want to be a part of that as well. Right? So Chris, can you talk about that in the terms of Amazon FBA, the passion that you feel for that and that passion that you try to instill in others?
Yeah, so it's exactly like, whether you're successful at something, whether that be greatly successful or, at the very starting stage of success is at a certain something, it's how you can demonstrate and practice your information that you have in your head and give that to other people. Because I always say an expert takes 10 years for certain something, don't quote me on that, so you can actually deem yourself as an expert. It's when it comes to sources of information and content, I think it's more so what you know, teaching the people that know less than you, so they can really grow in like personal development and educational purposes too.
Or at least giving people something to think about.
Yeah.
You may not know the answer yourself, but you may be able to pose the question.
Yeah, and then it's just gaining traction and presence for yourself, whether that be an actual physical brand of something or you're the brand. It's sometimes not always about the information too. It's how you can present that information.
Right.
Whether it's the verbal kind of factor coming obviously from your mouth, or it's the communication factor coming from your hand signals and so on.
Written.
Yeah, exactly. So it's if many people out there don't want to start something because they think someone else has already started it, they've already been successful at it, which leads down to the road of massive prevention. So, don't look at the millionaire who lives on the other side of the world, who's created the physical product or the information product that you are looking to create, because you, Ben, we're all unique in ourselves, in our purpose, in our vision. So, don't ever be afraid to move out of your comfort zone and to chase something else that, yes, the millionaire over there's done, or billionaire over the other side of the world's done, because you're still going to be very successful if you can harness your passion. Mm-hmm. So definitely leverage all of that and keep learning, keep everything going, and make sure you enjoy life to every single second, every day.
Absolutely. Now, there is one caveat to this, right? And I want to be sure to talk about this because I think it's a very important point. We are absolutely not saying that you should not look for profitable ventures. That is, Chris, I think that's the opposite of what we're saying. Because the important thing to note here is that once you do chase your passion and you approach business from a more wholesome place, and you try to build an ethical business and you take a long-term approach, then the money will come. And not only will the money come, but the real money will come. Okay? Because when you focus on trying to give to people, and you focus on trying to give to the correct people who need what you have to offer, and you can solve their problems at a fundamental level.
Yeah, that's key. It's solving people's problems. That's where it comes from.
They will pay you.
Yeah.
Because let's say you can solve a $10,000 problem for them.
Yeah.
Would it not make sense to charge them $5,000 for that?
Yeah.
They're still coming ahead $5,000, and they're still better off than when they met you before, right? And I want to present an idea to you that was told to me by Pat Flynn, who I recently interviewed in a Project Egg interview. And he was saying, if you're, let's say, mowing a lawn, for example, and you go and you're trying to mow people's lawns and you see somebody with some tall grass that needs to be mowed, instead of going up to that person and saying, hey, can I mow your grass for $50? Go to that person, build a relationship, and see what their real problems are. Because that tall grass may be a symptom of the real core problem. And so while you may be able to cut that grass for $50, you also may be able to solve their main problem for $10,000. And again, the money is not as important as solving the problem. Because again, the problems that you can see with your own eye, that might not be the biggest problem. That might be a symptom of the main problem. So if you go and you build real relationships with people and you come at it from a point of, let me serve you, let me give you anything that you need and everything that you need in order to be more successful, that is when you can find a place in the market to where you can provide serious value to people. Yeah. And you only need to hit once. You only need to hit once, because when you find that problem and you can solve that and it is magnificent, then you can go to everybody else that has that same problem and say, look what I just did for this person. This is where they were, this is what I did for them, and this is where they are now. Do you want me to do that for you? And they're like, yeah, of course. You just solved you just solved that problem. Obviously, I want that too.
Yeah, and it doesn't always have to come in the form of what we're speaking of. It can come in the form of, you know, an educational product. It can come in the form of a physical product. So in my story, you know, I went into the Amazon FBA model, which is selling on Amazon, selling physical products on Amazon, because I saw, again, there was a demand for me to make money, okay? But then simply after acknowledging that I could make money there, the money side of the kind of focus I had on the business went down, and while my knowledge went up, the passion did too. So this like the little story is, I provided something to the UK marketplace on Amazon that was not there. I focused so much on the people, the customers, the past and the current customers that I was going to gain, and I focused on delivering something to them that wasn't already available in the marketplace, and I've done it very simply in the form of a supplement. And you know, because
which you were passionate about,
yeah,
because you were a personal trainer for 5 years,
exactly. Right? So I brought a supplement out to Amazon because I was so passionate about fitness, health, nutrition, all of that stuff. So again, I mixed that business in with that passion, and then the passion started to outweigh the money side. Even though I was bringing in buckets of money to date, just for people who want to know, I've done £326,000 in the last 21 months,
which is close to $420,000 in the past 20 months.
And you know, while that money is great, it's fantastic, I still have more of a passion to sell on Amazon and to see the products arrive in my house when I've ordered them off Amazon, rather than the money in the bank or the inventory on Amazon. So, you know, when it doesn't really matter if you have $1 million or $1 in your account, if you haven't got a smile on your face, nothing fucking matters.
Right.
Sorry for the curse.
All good, all good. So, you know, there's two things that I kind of want to touch on about what you said. Not only were you very passionate about the product that you were selling on Amazon, that you brought, the supplements that you brought to market, but you also noticed that there was a demand for it and a need for it in the market. So you mixed that passion for the product with a good business sense that the product was needed. Yeah. And that, my friends, is how the magic happened. It also happened because Chris is a boss and he works endlessly. I can attest to that. He works tirelessly. So, you know, there's also that factor. But if you approach it from not just the money side, but focus on the passion, but be smart about how you focus on the passion, right? I may be very passionate about selling hats like these. That may be the coolest thing to me on the face of the planet. But if nobody wants to buy the hats and nobody's going to pay me for it, then that might just need to be a hobby. Yeah, I agree. That might just need to be a hobby. So it's important to not only distinguish between why am I doing this? Am I doing this for passion? Am I doing this for money? But you also want to be sure that the things that you are doing for passion, if you're going to make that your full-time vocation, you can also make some money off of it.
Yeah, you've got to put food on your plates and roof over your head.
Absolutely, absolutely. And so, you know, as in most things in life, and especially in business, there is no black and white. There's always going to be shades of gray. And the shades of gray that we're really focusing on in this video is you got to have that passion, but if it's going to be your full-time vocation, it's got to be profitable. So you got to find that mix of, and you don't have to. Obviously, you don't have to do anything. This is only our opinion. But what we would suggest is to find that thing that you are passionate about that you can also make money on. And when you can do that, and nothing that is going to stop you from being successful. So, Chris, I want to ask you a question. And I have my own answer to this question, but I want to know yours first. How do you find your passion? How do you find that thing that you're passionate about?
That is, I think that comes with a lot of trial and error from different things. I thought my true passion was going to make me a career in terms of a living, which was personal training. You know, while I have a great passion and interest for training, nutrition, and definitely eating, that passion kind of weared off in terms of I had to earn money by coaching clients to live the lifestyle that I was, or at one point pretended to be. But that passion wore off in terms of it kept with me. I've only built my passion on training, all of that stuff. But when it came to teaching others how to do that, I'm out. I don't want to do that too much. So with that then came me to put pressure on myself to find another avenue, which was to sell ebooks on Kindle. that became a passion for 3 to 4 months. Until then, I explored a bigger kind of business model, which at the time I didn't really know anything about, until I really dived in to research the model, to build knowledge on myself. And I think, again, that's 3 resources that I've picked out of just 30 seconds we've been talking about it. And the really, really like top of the grain passion that I've got is Amazon FBA, which is the 3rd pick. So personal training, no. Kindle, not really. And then 3 Amazon FBA, nail on the head. And from that stemmed Zone Life Success, which then is an even bigger passion, if I can be totally honest.
Which is your blog.
Yeah, which is my blog, my website, and that's teaching other people how to sell on Amazon. So, when I can put more money in other people's bank accounts and bigger smiles on their faces, then that to me, what else do you want? That's maximum fulfillment.
Absolutely. So, I want to give you lovely people a very, very actionable tip right now. I'm going to tell you how you can find your passion. And I want to tell you how you can find your passion in a very easy way. So I want you to get a piece of paper or a pad of paper and a pen. And I want you to start writing down ideas for what you think that your passion might be. Right? Let's say idea number 1, dogs. Let's say idea number 2, let's just say cats. And then idea number 3, you keep going and you keep writing down things that might be your passion. They don't have to make sense. It doesn't have to be something that you can do right now, but it just needs to be an idea that you care about, that you think you might be passionate about. And I want you to keep writing and keep writing and keep writing. It may take 100 things that you write down. It may take 4. But I want you to keep writing until you find that one thing that you actually give enough of a shit about to stand behind. Okay? And I want you to do this. I want you to keep writing, and then once you find that thing, you're going to feel it. You're going to feel it on the inside. And I want you to take that thing, that idea, and I want you to go volunteer doing that thing for an hour. Just an hour. Go volunteer. It is not an investment of your money. It is not life-changing. It is not going to do anything but give you some perspective for 1 hour. If you enjoy that thing for 1 hour, you're doing it. It might be your thing. You might say, oh man, I love this. For this whole hour, I felt so alive and been so fulfilled, and this is truly my calling. Great, keep going with it. Keep exploring it. Keep doing it until it's not fun or you're not passionate about it anymore.
Do you know what's a good example of that? I always used to go bowling, so actual bowling, and I didn't always used to. I used to do it like once every 3 months. But every time I would do it for like 2 hours with the boys, with the family, I'd always wake up in the morning and I'd want to do it again. I'd always want to go bowling again the first morning. And when I didn't go bowling the next morning, and the weeks went on, then it started, that kind of want and interest started to decline. So that's a pretty much bold kind of move to, I don't really want to be involved in bowling in my life, because you get a factor of interest in the morning after, and then it kind of just slopes down. So what you want to do is have a maintenance interest that goes all the way through, whether you do that for 10 or 12 weeks for free as a volunteer, or 6 months or a year, whatever it is. If you can push past whatever stage you think is reasonable for that passion to smoothly go on, then that's something that you should probably go into and test then to.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So it goes back to the experimentation, right? Go test it. Test it for an hour. If you like it, keep doing it. If you don't like it, hit your pad and paper again. Keep writing and keep trying over and over and over again until you find what you're passionate about. Now you might be saying at this point, Ben, why do you want me to keep trying all these things over and over again if I may not even find it? Because once you find your passion and you find that thing that is so meaningful in your life that you want to wake up every single day and you want to give it your all, and it doesn't matter how you feel, it doesn't matter what else is going on, but you know every day that you're going to be doing that thing, that is something that is worth putting time into. That is something that is worth giving your all to. That is something that is worth your time, your energy, and your life. Because this is your life that we're talking about. What you do with your life, I wish the best for you. But at the end of the day, that does not affect me. It affects you. It's important to you. And I want to see you succeed. I want to see you go to the next level. I want to see you do incredible things. But it's going to take some time. It's going to take some effort. And it's going to take figuring out what those things are that you want to accomplish. Okay? Start with the pen. Start brainstorming. You're going to have some tough questions to ask yourself. Trying to figure out what you're really passionate about, I'll tell you, it's hard. It is very difficult, and it requires a lot of introspection. And it's, you have to ask yourself some tough questions. Who am I? What do I really like to do? What is really important to me? What are my core values? All these things are very difficult to ask. But if you do face this, right? And it's not like this horrendous process. Once you start getting in it, and this is personal development 101. Once you start getting into these questions, once you start learning more about yourself, then I guarantee you, this is a Ben Gothard guarantee, that you will start living a more fulfilled life. You will start living a more meaningful life, and the things in life that are most important to you will start coming to the surface, and you can focus on those, and it's a happier life. It's a happier life. So, I got a little philosophical there, but
we always do, bro.
We always do. And it's only because that's what I'm passionate about. I'm passionate about helping other people, and the way that I know that I can provide the most value to people right now is either through Project Egg, which is helping people network with each other and and connect with other entrepreneurs, or through motivating you to find your passion in life and empower you to turn your dreams into reality. Because that's what I want to see for you. I want to see your dreams turn into reality. So Chris, unless you have anything else to say on the subject?
Just drink your water, people. Stay hydrated, stay motivated, stay humble, and stay foolish, baby. We'll see you on the next live.
Let's build a better world together.